how do you get kicked off YouTube? That's the question. Intriguing question nonetheless. Apparently one of my recent videos was extremely controversial and I got booted off YouTube. Well, there you go. I don't understand it. I don't understand why that happened, but the reality is research is what it is. The data is out there and it's just a matter of hopefully making sense of it. And so with that, here we go. The next episode of Common Sense for COVID. Let's move forward. Let's keep moving forward. So let's focus again on some of these areas that I really like to talk about. First is medicine. The big thing that we were talking about as far as flattening the curve is concerned is there. The reality is the initial focus that we really brought out was that the people who were getting sick and the death rate was exceeding what we could take care of. The good news is it's been now well established that there are more than enough hospital beds for those who need it. Those people who get critically ill, there are hospital beds available. So this is great news. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that we need to all run around and be crazy, but what it does mean is that, again, this safety net that we were really relying upon is there, and it's available, and it's in good place. So that's very good news. Now, with that in mind, again, the fear over COVID needs to be really kept in check, if you will. Even if you talk with the experts and if you really drill them down and ask how, what's this going to do to the general population? Well, the reality is it's probably going to act a lot like SARS and MERS and some of the other coronaviruses. So, but even with all of that, I invite you to really focus on what you can do and not be caught up so much in what is being put out there. A lot of fear, and the reality is that really cripples you, and it's a big part in decreasing your immune system. And so make sure you're taking a step back and really assessing how much of what I'm doing is driven by fear and how much is being driven by maybe concern for others, what have you. But just don't let fear drive what you're doing. It really doesn't need to be the case. And again, it's one of the worst things you can do as far as your immune system is concerned. And so again, let's focus on the things that you can do. And I know I've talked about these in other videos, but I want to reiterate them just really quickly for those who haven't seen some of my other videos. So the biggest thing that you can do is improve your immune system. The reality is, again, if a vaccine comes out and if it's effective, either way, it doesn't matter. It's still relying upon your immune system and the strength of your immune system to really do its job. And so the best thing you can do, regardless of the circumstances, is really focus on making your body the strongest it can be and making your immune system viable and ready to go after whatever comes its way. Gosh, it's worked for us for millennia. No reason why it won't work for us as we move forward with new infections, new viruses, what have you. Our bodies are amazing. So, simple key things that you can do as far as making sure your immune system is as strong as it can be. First, make sure you're getting plenty of sleep. Sleep is critical as far as resetting your body, resetting your immune system, and really helps you reduce stress. The next thing is stress reduction. So do everything you can to reduce stress. Write in a journal, take a walk, connect with nature, make sure you're exercising. Do all of these little things that really help you reduce your stress. Meditate, breathing exercises. All those are amazing. But stress reduction is very critical. If you're overly stressed, and again, driven by all the fear that's going on, that raises your cortisol that then suppresses your immune system. And it's not what you need right now. So again, connect with nature, exercise, be active, hydrate. Make sure you're hydrating and make sure you're getting appropriate amounts of electrolytes. Now, electrolytes without sugar, make sure you're getting electrolytes. That's, sodium, potassium, chloride, magnesium, all the electrolytes that your body needs to really function at its best. I recommend a good multivitamin. Vitamin D, vitamin C, good doses of vitamin C, zinc, and fish oils. These are the core things that you really should be taking on a daily basis to really keep your body running smoothly and help prepare your immune system for anything that's coming. If you do get sick, then you can think about taking some quercetin, zinc, increasing your fish oils, certainly increasing your vitamin C, and maybe adding some turmeric. There is some new information in regards to a substance called NAC, N-acetylcysteine. They've shown that this is actually very beneficial in preventing the infection. And there's a big scientific chart and everything that goes around, and things fly over the place, all over the place. But the reality is, N-acetylcysteine is one of these critical components for your body to function appropriately, but more importantly, to help it deal with inflammation. And again, if you can get your inflammation down, then your body's more able to deal with something else that comes along, because inflammation is often a byproduct or an issue of an overstressed or overworked immune system. The other thing that they've shown that is absolutely critical is keeping your blood sugars low. They're showing that elevated blood sugars really help this virus spread within your body and help it do its dastardly deed, if you will. The reality is, keeping your blood sugars low is critical. And you may think, gosh, I don't have diabetes, it's not a big deal for me. Certainly this is super important for those who are diabetic. But even if you're not diabetic, if you're having a really high carbohydrate meal, your sugars still spike and they still go up, and that spike can make you more susceptible to the infection. So this is a great opportunity to really hone in on a healthy diet. Lots of greens, lots of vegetables, lots of things that have good vitamins and minerals within them to help your body recover. Some fruits, some meats. Make sure, again, you're staying well hydrated, and really try to eat whole foods, things that are not processed. Really critical as far as helping your body stay strong and combat anything that comes its way. There is some research as far as ACE inhibitors and ACE2 receptors and some other things. The reality is, I'm not going to talk much about those because they're still trying to sort some of that out and what it really means. So that really is the basics of what you can do right now. Economically, that's our next section. The reality is, things are starting to open up a little bit across the country. Not everywhere, but some places are really starting to open up. And my plea to you, if you will, is the reality is finances are a big part of health. They are. They're an overall piece of overall health and wellness. The reason is because you're able to do things and take care of yourselves in ways, if you have resources, that if you don't have resources are unavailable to you. So finances have been shown to be a very important part of health. And opposed to what everyone says as far as, how to get wealthy and those kind of things, certainly we want to be smart. We want to save. We want to prepare for times that are coming. We want to do those things. But when the opportunity comes, we need to get out and we need to get back into the economic mindset where we are sharing what we have with others. And sometimes we have more to share than others. But the reality is, if we're going to get the economy going again and really get some of this fear and the burden off us, we're going to have to be willing to get out there and share some of the economy that we have with those around us, and really be willing to do that as we move forward. So that's my big invitation to you from an economic standpoint. Socially, there's been a lot of really sad stories out there as far as people being kept tight together, and anger building and other things happening, and divorce rates and those type of things. Take this opportunity to really connect and reestablish some of those really important connections in your life with family, with friends, what have you. The reality is, technology right now is amazing. We're using it. And you can use that to connect with people that you haven't been able to connect with in a while. Take advantage. The reality is, a lot of times we want to get in our own little cubby hole, if you will, or our own little corner and ride this out. But this is a good opportunity for us to use the technology to get out there and to really touch people's lives. And I invite you to do that. So socially, very important. One of the things I'm going to add here is psychological issues. Again, the sad thing is that there's a lot of stress, a lot of fear that's being driven, and we need to stop and just take an assessment of what we're doing and what it's doing to us, what we're paying attention to and what it's doing to us. If we're so fear-driven that we can't really move past it, we're in a bad place, and bad things are going to happen. That's just the way it works from a psychological standpoint. And so, excuse me, if I was to suggest one very important thing to do for your psychological health, unplug. Spend some time where you are away from technology, where you're away from all of the commotion that's going on, and unplug at least sometime during the day. Make sure that you're really taking the opportunity to get away from all of that. Learn something new. Spend some quiet time. Read. Don't get caught up in the fear. Plan on how to move forward. That's the best thing that you can do as far as this is concerned from a psychological standpoint. Okay, so medicine, we flattened the curve. There's enough hospital beds. There's enough other things going on right now. I'm really excited about that. There's going to be an up and down. That's just the way some of these infections and things go. And the reality is we're dealing with a little bit of the known. I would say a lot of the known and a little bit of the unknown. And we're going to see a lot of decisions that frankly frustrate us, drive us crazy, and start to tug at that psychological string, if you will. But again, unplug, focus on what you can do, take some basics, make sure you're eating well, getting plenty of rest. And the reality is we're going to get through this. All right. I look forward to your questions, concerns, comments, etc. Otherwise, we'll see you next week.